Well, recently, the National Legal and Policy Center presented a gender-based compensation gaps and associated risks proposal at the Walt Disney Company's annual shareholder meeting, which would require the company to investigate its employee pay and benefits policies to determine how and where they are discriminatory, primarily against detransitioners. Those are the individuals that attempt to revert back from the sex they were born with and then desire to return to their original bodily conditions. Most who have undergone chemical, medical, or surgical treatments to alter their bodies cannot then find care or insurance coverage to try to switch back. Weird, right? They'll pay all the money to do this disfigurement, this radical change that will keep you on medication and follow-up procedures for the rest of your life. But when it's time to come back, no. Disney's board of directors opposed the proposal. So when you look at it, Disney pays for gender transition interventions, but not detransitioning care. Therefore, the company discriminates based on gender identity, don't they? Join me live now, Paul Chesser, who is the director of corporate integrity at the NPLC. Paul, good to see you today. I mean, it's pretty clear here. If you're going to allow them to go one way but not support them going the other way, then that is discrimination by definition, is it not?
Oh, that's what the argument was that we made in presenting our proposal. And we've got the same proposal coming up at Johnson & Johnson and Pepsi as well in a few weeks. Basically, the left has set up this discrimination paradigm. There's been dozens and dozens of proposals in the past that talk about discrimination, pay discrimination based on gender, based on race. Racial minorities paid less than whites and Asians. So we just took the left's own proposal and said, well, you're paying these benefits for LGBTQIA and whatever other initial you want to use for them to change into whatever they think they need to be or they think they really are in their bodies. But when some of these people start to go through this process and they realize they've been deceived, they've been misled, by their medical practitioners, by their psychologists, by the companies they work for, and they want to revert back, well then, the testimony of these detransitioners, so many of them, is that, well, what do I do now? There's no remedial care. There's no insurance to cover it. I'm lost. And, we had a young lady, Chloe Cole, testify for us and present our proposal last week at Disney, and it's gone viral. It's been amazing, the response in support of her.
Yeah, if you do not want to carry the water for this whole disfigurement of children and these powerful chemicals and, of course, these surgeries and all of this, and you say, you know what, it didn't work, it was wrong, then you just get the cold shoulder. You're forgotten about. You're irrelevant to them. And they talk about suicide and mental health and so forth. Do they not care about these folks and their suicide possibilities or their mental health or their anxiety or their depression? The people that want to detransition, they're just irrelevant? Is that what I'm to understand?
Well, they say they provide for mental health care. I guess that's an all-encompassing thing. But really, when you've mutilated your body under the advice of a medical practitioner, or you've undergone as a young person, and Disney pays for dependents to have gender transitions too. So kids are, employees' kids are having this done too. Like Chloe Cole and like many others, we've reported on a lot of it, even with SEC filings. There's no recovery from that. There's no remediation of that. And so, we say, Disney, you are now culpable and you are now vulnerable for embracing, and this is really them embracing the human rights campaign, the pro-LGBT advocacy group, because all these companies, including Disney, they just really want to go after that 100% score, saying that they don't discriminate based on gender ideology. They trumpet it when they get that 100% score. Now they're caught in a bind because now there's these people who have damaged and disfigured their bodies under the advice of their employers and their health insurance companies and their doctors, and they can't do anything about it. So now they're going to get sued.
Paul.